The 2024 schedule has been released. So let's go ahead and give you a reaction and our take on it, as well as a game-by-game breakdown. Let's do it. Welcome back to another Titan Bros video. I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room, and it's not my brother, believe it or not. It's me. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm a little phlegmy. A little bit phlegmy. So if I sound a little weird, a little nasally, that's why. But it'll be all right. We will be all right. But yeah, welcome in. We're going to have a lot of fun breaking down game by game and tacking a way too early dub or L with it to see what, as of now, it could look like. Because one more thing I want to say before I hand it over to you is this is a way too early pick. Like, we assume we're addressing safety. We assume we're going to add some depth / competition at the edge position next to Arden Key, or with, not with him. Competition for him. There we go. I know I couldn't say those words. But anyway, so we're acting like none of that happens. We're acting like this roster, like for now, Elijah Molden is our starting safety. So that's how we're going to react with these wins and loses. So things will change. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say what you said. Like, this is way too early prediction, but it's subject to change. And we'll after preseason, before the season starts, probably make another video of what our official prediction is. But it could be the same, but like you said, a lot of things could change for us, or there could be injuries happening to people on our team, or people we're going to be going against that could change things. So it is subject to change, but this is as of right now what we think.
Yeah, because who knows? We might trade for Jack Conklin, and Jack Conklin be our right tackle. We don't know. But for now, we're slating it like it's Nicholas Petit. Ferrer. All right, so let's go ahead and start off. I'll start off with number one, week 1 at Chicago. It is a early window game. The old Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams gets to make his debut against us. He does get to have his debut at home. But what are we thinking about our week 1 matchup?
I am thinking, one, I'm going to be nice here to actually the Titans, because I think Chicago is going to be good, decent next year. Like, I'm not sure about a playoff team, but I think they're going to be a decent team, okay? A tough out for anybody. And it's in Chicago, but it is Caleb Williams' first game. And so maybe he'll start off not as good as I think he will be in his career. So I'm going to actually chalk this one up as a week 1 win for the Titans, which we haven't had in a while.
Since 2020 against the Broncos.
Which is a little sad.
Yeah, I know, because we lost 2021 to the Cardinals in a disgusting fashion. We lost in 2022 to the Giants. That was also kind of disgusting, because I still feel like we were the better team. And then 2023, last year, we lost to the Saints because Tannehill decided to throw, how many was it, 4 picks? 3 or 4? Yeah, so yeah, I also have it down as a dub. This is a toss-up. It could go either way. But I do agree with you, being able to play Caleb Williams on his first game, there's got to be some, I don't want to say rust, but newness, because obviously he has literally his entire offense is new, his entire wide receiving core is new, because obviously he was playing college last year. So I think we might be able to take advantage of a starter making his first, or a quarterback making his first start ever. So I also have us getting the dub. All right, we come home to do our opener, our season home opener against the New York Jets. Take it away.
Assuming Aaron Rodgers makes it past one play, and he plays. What?
3 plays. Give him his credit.
I think this is sadly going to be a lose. Because Jets, I think if Aaron Rodgers was playing last year, they would have been really good, because that defense was really good. So sadly, I hate to say this, but I think Jets will go right into town, or should I say fly into town, because they're a Jet, and get a dub.
That's so funny. Sadly. Anyways, I mean, I have to agree with you. The Jets were competitive all year long with Zach Wilson and that whole cast of characters with Aaron Rodgers being out. So their defense is going to be good. I don't like their offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. I don't think he's any good. But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. And you're right. Even if he only ends up playing 9 games this year, you would think week 2 would be one of the games he does play.
Yeah.
That's a very complete team. I hate to say it, but I give the dub to the Jets, having us sit there at 1-1. All right. Moving on. Week 3, another home game. We had 2 home games in a row. Which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, because we have 17 games and only 8 at home.
Is that how it goes? We have 8 road games.
Because last year we technically had 9 home games, but they counted the London game as one of our.
That was dumb. I'm so glad we don't have a London game, but yeah.
Me too. That was one of the highlights of the schedule for me. All right, so 1 second. Sorry, I had to cough. All right, Packers. I don't know. I think Packers outplayed themselves, and I don't think Jordan Love is as good as a 32 touchdowns. I think is what he ended up having last year. But most people have Jordan Love as a top 10 quarterback now. I'm like, that may have been a little preemptive. I mean, he did play really well, but technically
in the playoffs, leading into the playoffs and into the playoffs where the competition is good stuff, he was amazing. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it was statistically not as good as Tannehill's 33 touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns, 40 touchdowns altogether in 2020, and Tannehill never got any kind of top 10 discussions. So I think Mike Greenberg, of all people, Severson, after the first season as Tannehill's the starter from beginning to end, he did say that statistically he's better than anybody. But anyways, who cares about Tannehill? He's a free agent. So Jordan Love, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment and just crown him so stupidly early.
I also think he has a good cast of characters around him.
He does have a good. They're the youngest. I'm sure everyone's heard this stat. They are the youngest NFL team, and a year under this youngest football team's belt, you would think that would bode well for him. I hate to say it, but I'm just gonna have to go with an L here. Even though I just bashed Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love, but I have to guess L here.
I was thinking the same thing. That's kind of odd, but yes, I agree with you. I am a big believer in Jordan Love / the receivers and tight ends and stuff he has around him, and Matt LaFleur. I think they're gonna be good. I would say being at home, maybe he'll come and play not as well as he should in Nashville, but sadly, Titans have not been a good home team for many years now. Second, I feel like I think they have a lot of offensive power. So I'm just gonna hate to say it, and it's gonna this is one of those games that we win. I'm not like, oh my goodness, I'm shocked, but I am gonna give it an L.
It's a toss up. I would lean them 55-45. And again, this is assuming Elijah Molden is our starting safety over there, and just things like that. So we drop 1-2. We travel on our only primetime game of the season against the Dolphins on Monday Night Football again.
Revenge game.
Your turn. Yeah, it's a revenge game, so go ahead. Take it away.
Sadly, we've seen enough Mike McDaniels / Tua's offense to know this is going to happen. They're going to jump out and be amazing, even better than the Chiefs' offense. They always are early in the season, and as the season goes on, they get worse and worse, and then they have a no-show in the playoffs. But sadly, this is week 4. That Dolphins offense would be amazing, unstoppable, because that's basically what it was in the first half of the season. It's just going to be unstoppable, and we're going to get a big fat L right now.
Yeah, not just that, but they're going to remember how we disrespected them last year and made them lose some serious seeding in the playoffs, and then they obviously didn't make it to the next round of the playoffs. I agree with you. I think they're going to be playing mad. I think we also drop an L because I also think, sadly, and you agree with me here, there's a shot we'd go into the bye week 0-4.
Yeah, that's a legit shot.
Because we have 2 toss-up games and then 2 games I'm like, yeah, we're probably going to lose. So it's very possible we end up going to the bye week 0-4.
Which that would, in a football season, that's almost a death sentence.
It really is. It really is. Especially 2 out of the next 3 games are tough again. I don't like the bye week.
Who do you have?
The bye week? You brought all the jokes today. Yeah, I think we'll probably lose to the bye week. Somebody like T'Vondre Sweat will get in trouble with the law or something during our bye week. I hate the bye week. I hate the bye week being week 5 so much. I thought it was ridiculous that we only got 6 games last year and then took the bye week. But we had 4 games bye week, and then with our old receiving core, just old people all together on our roster, they have to go 13 games straight, no rest.
Yep. The schedule didn't do us any favors.
We don't even have a Thursday night game to where you can get an extra couple days after the Thursday night game. It's literally just straight grinding all the way until early January. Hopefully until late January, But anyways,
Yeah, that is the thing. You're right. Sometimes a Thursday night game can give you a mini break. Not this season.
no.
When's the last time we didn't have a Thursday night? We always have a Thursday
I don't know.
night.
That's the one game we do have. Even back in the years where we only won 2 games, we would get a Thursday night game. That would be our thing. Because they just changed the rule a couple years ago where they don't have to give every team primetime games now. So I guess we should be happy we got one. All right. I will say one thing I am okay with the bye week being early is this. New head coach, like brand new, never been before. Brand new play caller, brand new special teams coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator, and a lot of new weapons. It's possible you get a 4-game sample and then you get to stop and adjust early. Be like, all right, we are now 4 games into our roles that we've never done before in our entire lives. How are we feeling about it? And they can make some adjustments early. So that's the only thing I can think of positive about it. In the end, hate it. All right, it is my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys. Nope. That's how I was reading the Cowboys because I have the one in the NFL or the Titans page put up, and somebody called the Colts the Cowboys. I'm not sure you watched the reveal video or not, but anyways, the Colts. I think we win that game. I know you disagree. I'm still not sold on Anthony Richardson. He played like 3.5 games, 4 games.
Probably.
He had injuries twice. I'm not sold on him. I think he is the most unknown, besides rookies, he's the most unknown starting quarterback because we don't know anything about him. And if you remember correctly, he wasn't even supposed to go number 4 overall. Just like some reason, last minute, he just started climbing up the rankings. Anthony Richardson, just because he's big, strong, fast, can throw it far. I'm not sold on him, and that's only week 6, so it's possible he still hasn't, grown into what he's going to be, whether he does end up being anything or not. So I think we go in there after a couple weeks or with a week off, and we get the dub, jump up to 2-3.
I say we get a win there. 1, because it's off of a bye. 2nd, I would say this. I'm not saying I'm necessarily an Anthony Richardson believer, but I'm just saying I don't know. He didn't play enough to say one way or another. The potential is definitely there. I just say he's a big question mark because who knows? Colts is the team I have the bottom of our division, but if he plays it really well, they may not be. They might be a surprise team. But at the moment, the way I see it, yes, I say Titans get a dub there.
Yeah. So we're up 2-3. So far, we've agreed on every single pick.
Every single one.
This one, probably not. Next week, away against Buffalo. I think we beat them. They cut their entire defense. And then trade.
Buffalo?
Yeah. They cut their entire defense, both starting safeties, all kinds of guys. They cut their center, Mitch Morse. They lost Gabe Davis. They traded away Stephon Diggs. I'm like, who? They drafted Keon Coleman, I think he was, in the first pick of the 2nd round, I think, somewhere around there, as their wide receiver, 1. But I'm like, you have no running game. You have 1, maybe a 2nd round rookie wide receiver that you're hoping is going to be your number 1 wide receiver. I just feel like they are going to take a step back.
I work with a Bill fan, and trust me, he's not been happy at all this offseason. But I'll say this. Does the Bills kind of feel like what John Robinson did when they shut the door on a Super Bowl window for no reason? Like there was no reason to do it, but they just decided to. That's how the Bills feel. But I'll say this. Josh Allen, to me, is a top 5 quarterback. As long as you have a top 5 quarterback, you're always going to have more wins than losers in a season.
Right, which I agree. They're going to have a winning record, I still think.
Do I think the Bills are going to be a Super Bowl contender team? No. But do I think they'll be a good team? Yes. It's in Buffalo, so I hate to say it, but I am going to give the Titans an L, though.
Okay, gotcha. So I got us winning this one. So we're sitting at 3-3 at the moment.
I'm 2-4.
Okay. Now the next game, the Lions. Take it away.
Home away.
Away.
Dang it. I hate to say it, but I'm going to give the Detroit a win there as well. I like the Lions. Lions are a complete team. They have first of all, they have a great offensive line. So that's a huge thing. They have a good quarterback. Jared Goff was good last year. You may not say great, but he was good last year. They have good receivers. The defense could use a little help, but they addressed that a lot this offseason. They know how to ground and pound. I think Gibbs is at the running back.
Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah. He was a rookie last year.
I think he's really going to tail it up this year. And us stopping the run. Now, maybe Sweat might help us here, but before him, definitely, I would say stopping the run might be an issue. Maybe Sweat might help, but I can see them just ground and pound us. And I hate to say it, I would give us an L, though.
Yeah, the two most complete from top to bottom of roster teams are the 49ers and the Lions.
I agree with that.
So even though I don't think either of those two quarterbacks are top 10, I think they're both fringe top 10, which when you have that much talent around you, a fringe top 10 is going to get you a lot of wins. Yeah. So I hate to say it, I also have us losing this game. So for me, dropping 3 and 4. For you, you're 2 and 5. Ooh. Time for some people to start getting fired. Next week, if there's one, yeah.
But I would say this, and you just jokingly say get people fired. But something you also got to remember, sadly, we got a lot of unknowns as well. Lev is unknown, the coaching staff is unknown, and even if they're well, it takes a while to gel. So this season could start off really slow because of all this unknown. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, we love the fact that Brian Callahan's an offensive-minded head coach, but he might be an absolutely awful head coach. Like Nathaniel Hackett was, Aaron Rodgers' guy. Everybody thought Nathaniel Hackett was going to be amazing. He goes to the Broncos and was awful.
Yeah, so
awful.
Exactly.
He didn't even survive his first season. So, or might be the next Sean McVay, because I'll be honest, when Sean McVay got hired, I was kind of like, who?
He's amazing.
Oh, yes. All right, the next game. If there's one game that we have to win this year, it's this one. It's the Patriots. Okay. Patriots. I think the Patriots are so stupid bad. I think they have bad running backs, bad wide receivers, probably bad quarterback. At least in his first year, Drake May. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything good about him. Decent defense.
When I saw the schedule, I was noticing really how difficult it is. But I'm like, if there's one game, I'm like, okay, that's a week I'll go into feeling like we should win this one. This might be the only game of the season, to be honest. But it's the Patriots. I agree with you. That's a win. They are so talentless. Their GM / Bill Belichick, I know is gone, but this offseason, I feel like they did a bad job. They don't know how to get talent. They just don't. And I think Drake May could have been a good quarterback, but I think he's going to win his career in New England because they get a guy who I don't think is going to actually adjust to the new offense of today's NFL. What's his name? I'm trying to think of his name. The head coach for the Patriots.
Rod Mayo.
Yeah, him. He looks like he's going to be the same kind of thinking as Bill Belichick. And I'm like, that offense is so talentless, and I think they're going to stay that way. So, anyway, to say all that,
they're getting discount Belichick to be their head coach to replace Belichick.
So, I will give that as a win.
Yeah. So, I have us up to 4 and 4. You're 3 and 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we travel to California to play against the Chargers. This is an absolute toss-up to me. Absolute toss-up. But I love their draft. You know why? They drafted Joe Alt, who I wanted. They drafted Ladd McConkey, who I wanted. So basically,
they had a good draft.
And then their third-round pick was one of the top linebackers. So literally, that would have been a perfect draft to me. If we came away with Joe Alt, Ladd McConkey, and the linebacker whose name escapes me, I'd be like, ooh.
They had this stuff a good offseason, a good draft. Because sometimes free agency was a little questionable, but the draft was good. But I am a big Jim Harbaugh fan. Harbaugh fan. I think he's amazing. And I hate to say it. I think they're going to get a win here. This is a toss-up. Like, I feel 55-45 here. Maybe
they cut all their wide receivers. Wide receivers.
I think Jim Harbaugh's I think he's gonna be an excellent coach. He's never failed, no matter where he's at. He's never failed before. So I think, and he's got a good quarterback. So I think he's going to be just fine. And I hate to say it, I say we get a lot. Like, this is so close. If this in Nashville, maybe I would take the Titans. But being in LA, so we have to travel, I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else for me to add. I think they had a really good draft. I think Jim Harbaugh's he was never not a top coach.
Yeah,
he
went to championships and Super Bowls in the NFL.
That's all I did. But yeah, so I'll give them the dub there as well. Sadly, so that has us dropping to 4 and 5 for me, and 3 and 6 for you. This is another one we got to win. The next game, home against the Vikings. They obviously have Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, probably the best wide receiver in the league. But J.J. McCarthy's going to be throwing them the ball.
He should not have been a first-round quarterback. I think he's benefiting from Jim Harbaugh, who we just talked about. He should not be a first-round. And I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so their defense is fine, whatever. But I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think me put it this way: if you're playing fantasy football, I would be weary of picking Justin Jefferson if you had like the second overall pick.
Yeah,
He's gonna have JJ McCarthy throwing him the ball. So I have us winning this game.
I agree. I actually have us winning this game as well. Like you said, I'm just not a firm believer in JJ McCarthy, especially as a first round pick. Justin Jefferson's good, but I just don't think he's that good to make them that deadly.
No.
You know, just triple team Justin Jefferson and see what JJ McCarthy can do after that. But I think we actually will get a win here. I got us 4-6.
We got 5-5. Then we traveled to Houston. And I honestly just think we lose the game. Was it my turn? I think it was my turn.
You went first 2 times.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I agree. It's Houston. I think it actually could be a top fringe Super Bowl contender team. It's in Houston. I say we go and we get the big L.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but sadly, I agree. Divisional games could be such a toss-up, but
It is. It can be.
But it is a way. I'm gonna have to give the nod to the Texans, which puts us at 5-6 for me and 4-7 for you.
You know, we agreed on every game so far except for one. That is so odd for us.
It is odd for us. All right, next one. I'll go ahead and lead us off here. Here's the other game that I say we just have to win this year. That is the Washington Commanders. It is away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback there, or Marcus Mariota. I think he's their second string right now.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. But Jaden Daniels as the starter. And you want to talk about another team that's just talent deficient? Like they have scary Terry McLaurin, as they call him.
Good, yeah.
But Jahan Dotson kind of turned out to be a bust. Now, they did go out and draft, I think, Luke McCaffrey, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And actually,
but
I
still,
didn't know much about him. I looked at his highlights. He looked like he actually might stay on the roster.
Yeah, well, he got overdrafted because of his brother. Because originally he was projected at like a 5th or 6th round pick, and he actually got drafted, I think, in the 3rd. So I think it was a little bit of a reach because of name recognition. We have to win this game.
Yeah.
Like I think if we lose this game, it means Tannehill's not very good. Not Tannehill.
Yeah,
Levis.
This is a game we need to win. I don't even care if it's in Washington or Nashville because that makes a big difference to me normally. This is just one of those games you just look at like we have to win this. If we can't win this, then we're just not that good. We got to win this. I actually think Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But he is a rookie. He doesn't have much to work with.
Their offline is their offensive line is garbage.
Because I think Sam Howell could have been better. Because he actually had decent numbers, but also I think he was one of the most sacked quarterbacks last year. Probably not as bad as ours, but he was really bad. But anyway, I like Jaden Daniels, but I think we should and have to win this one. So I'm gonna give us a win.
6-6 for me, 5-7 for you.
Yep.
Home against the Jaguars. I've already told you, I'm not sold on the Jaguars this year. I think it's impossible to ignore that their team got worse this offseason, and they went 8-9 and missed the playoffs last year.
Thanks to us at the last game.
Yeah, thanks to us beating them for no reason. Which if we hadn't
do that, maybe we got Joe Alt.
No, he still would have gone to the Chargers, but we'd been picked 6, so we could have had Malik Neighbors if we had decided we wanted to go that route.
The Chargers picked right before us. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Which I guess we'll never know the answer of whether they would have taken Latham or Neighbors. Which I'll be honest, I probably would have been upset if we took Latham over Neighbors because Neighbors is
me too.
Legit. All right. Anyways, so we win. I got us go. Actually, I guess I didn't say it until just now, but we win this game. I think so. I think we get into a winning record for the first time since week 1.
It's in Jacksonville. Now, granted, last year didn't we lose? Last year, I mean, it's in Nashville. Is what I meant to say. But last year, didn't we lose at home and beat them in Jacksonville? I want to say. But anyway, I say it's at home, and I say we beat them. So I got a 6-7.
We got 7-6. We go to. Actually, we don't go anywhere. It's home game against the Bengals.
I say lose here. If Joe Burrow's healthy.
Now here's the thing: we'll have a slight advantage because obviously Callahan knows Zach Taylor. Taylor? Yeah, Zach Taylor. Chidobe Awuzie knows.
Yeah,
he's like inside information. Tyler Boyd knows the offense like the back of his hand. I think we could win this game. This is a toss-up, but I'm gonna give it a no-go because we have Elijah Molden as our safety starter right now. Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow's not gonna let that stand, so we lose.
This is just an opinion I have. If he's healthy, because he hasn't been healthy that much, but if Joe Burrow is healthy, I could see him having an MVP season here. I think he's just been too long sitting on the bench, knowing how good he is, and just watching other quarterbacks get talked about. I predict actually a crazy good year from Joe Burrow, and I think this is going to be just another game that he's going to come in and win.
Yeah, so I got us having a winning record for just a small second, and then we fall back down to 7-7.
6-8 for me.
All right. Next, away with the Colts.
Away. I'm going to be nice because I really don't normally predict a sweep for any sides, but I'm going to say Titans going to win this one. And I know it's Anthony Richardson is such a question mark, but right now I'm going to say we're going to win this one.
I hope Anthony Richardson stays healthy because one of the best moves, if not the only good moves, the Colts made in the offseason is they brought in Joe Flacco as their backup.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think Minshew almost saved their season last year. But I agree with you. It's been the weirdest thing in the world. Last year they swept us, but then the 2 years before that we swept them both times. So we sweep them, then they sweep us. But I think we're gonna sweep them. 8-7. Jaguars away.
Away. I got.
I'm gonna have us losing here. Yeah. 8. So for me, I have us sitting here at 8-8. We're gonna beat split with the Jaguars. That's kind of what we like to do. Sitting at 8-8, heading into week 17 or week 18.
I got a 7-9 entering week 17. Which, if we go into 7-9, then this last game probably wouldn't mean much.
Probably not. Going against the Texans at home. I got us sitting at 8-8. That could be. They probably will have already had the division. But they hate us wearing our uniforms, you know.
They do.
So they're gonna come out mad, even if they have nothing to play for. I could see them playing C.J. Stroud, and as it stands right now, because we still have a couple holes on our roster, I have us losing, dropping to 8-9, a winning in, probably making that 7th wild card spot, winning in, and the stupid Texans spoil it for us.
I got us losing that game. Now, granted, a big question mark is, are they going to rest people and stuff? But assuming they're not, I got us losing that game 7-10. I think Texans are really good, really talented, and you got the rookie out of the way of C.J. Stroud. You know, so that's out of him. So now he just can move forward of being how good he's actually going to be. And so I think he's going to come and they'll get us a win. And so I got us getting swept by the Texans at 7-10. So we improved by
I think we're going to add some pieces and we're going to get a couple more wins. But I kind of find flaws in both of our logic. We just made all of these additions, and you think we're only going to win one more game than we did last year?
Because I would, yes. And here's the thing. I fully expected when the schedule come out for me to be able to say, oh, yeah, we're definitely winning 9, 10, maybe even 11 games. But I looked at that schedule. I'm like, wait a second, this is a tough schedule, especially for us being in the bottom of the division. The only 2 games that I'm like, okay, we got to win that is Patriots and Crandall's. That is it. That after
for me, Vikings too.
Okay, Vikings, yeah, I guess I get that too. But that was a very tough schedule. I didn't like what the bye week was at. And to me, I was very disappointed with our schedule and how hard it was. Because you're right. I think we improved big time. But I look at that schedule and I'm like, well, still not going to be very good. Because I'll say this. Our schedule last year, we could have got more wins. We should have got more wins than we did.
I mean, yeah, we lost in overtime twice, and then we had that stupid game against the Saints where we threw 4 picks and we lost 14-16 or whatever it was because we only kicked field goals.
Yeah, and I just feel like it wasn't the toughest opponents that we went against, and we just didn't take advantage of it. I feel like this Titan team would have been much better in that schedule, but this is a tough schedule we have, and I'm a little disappointed at really that I think we're only going to win 7. And like I said, things can change, but maybe we really are one season away from actually competing again. Because we still have some cap space to work with. Another season, hopefully, we'll have a showing potential, and he'll be better next year. Callahan could have another season with him coaching, and he can be better at that. But I just don't see this schedule as being all that great.
Yeah, in the end, I'm going to end up projecting that we either go 9-8 or 10-7 probably, because I really do expect us to add an edge rusher as well as a safety. But with the roster how it is exactly today, I'm going to say 8-9. And yeah, that's all I got. Got anything else you want to add?
Titan fans ain't too happy with what we just did, but it is what it is. And you know what? Go out there and shock me. Go out there and win some games that I don't think you should. Now, I will say this. What was your prediction last year for us?
I wanted to say 10-7, but I ended up going stupid last minute and saying 11-6.
And I was 8-9, and we both was wrong. We was 6. I didn't think we was. This is be fair. Neither of us thought we was gonna be one of like the bottom of the barrel teams. None of us thought that.
Yeah,
You thought we was gonna be a
Tannehill
good
just went
team. And I thought we was gonna
awful.
be yeah. There was no reason for that. So hopefully this year will surprise us and at least be middle of the pack, because I got us a little less than middle of the pack, and you got us at middle of the pack.
Yeah,
So hopefully we can at least get 9 wins. Can we do that? That'd be nice.
I would agree.
Who knows? Maybe Will Levis will go out there and he'll play much better than I think he will, and he'll be a top quarterback. And then if that's the case, then my whole schedule's thrown out, because I am not right now predicting him to play as a top 10 quarterback. If he does, this could change everything.
I mean, if he plays from like top 15 to 11 quarterback, I think we go at least 10-7. But Will Levis is a huge question mark. We don't know. So I guess that's it. Got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, so I think that's gonna do it for our schedule review, schedule release, win by win, way too early, win by win, or win and loss prediction. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and check us out on our next video. So peace out and all that good.